Hey traders, checking in on the cryptocurrency space. Before we get into it, I did a live stream yesterday with Q&A about being a full-time trader and things that go along with it. That's on our YouTube channel. And if you haven't checked out the playlists, specifically market psychology and trading, lifestyle, and lessons and more, those videos are all worth looking at. And you can go back and look at the Q&A that I did from 2021, 2020, 2019, see the shifts or maybe the changes in the answers and things like that. But that's the evergreen content that is always useful and does not change with time. So the videos from 2-3 years ago, definitely worth checking out. If you had to watch anything, it's these two playlists on our YouTube channel. So looking at the NASDAQ, bears in complete control today. We had a bounce overnight when futures opened. The bell rang and the bears took over. And there's really been no sign of the bulls whatsoever. 15-minute lower high, EMA 12, lower high, you get the idea. Bulls non-existent today. It's not a huge red day in the market, but clearly the NASDAQ bears are keeping their control. We have the dollar still sideways, nothing changing with the dollar. We're patiently waiting for that sideways range to break. It's a lower volume week with the holiday. The S&P 500 or SPY is going to trade, half of the 20-day average volume today. So the fact that we had a holiday yesterday and it's a shortened trading week and we have Monday off next week and then we have Monday off 2 weeks from next week, we've got a solid chunk of Monday holidays, 3 out of the last 4 or 3 out of the next 4. So we are seeing things slow down. People aren't trading right now this week. We're seeing some tax loss harvesting going on, but overall crypto has been a ghost town. The bears showed up today. This is the 12-hour time frame for Bitcoin. We can see on the right here, most names are red. QNT is standing out as a bull. We'll look at that in just a moment, but it's a bear break on short-term Bitcoin timeframes, and we're now looking down at 16.5 and 16.2 as a couple support levels, knowing that if the bulls are going to prove anything to us, we have to see a break of 1760. If we break 1760, it's a weekly higher low being set. If we don't break 1760, the bulls don't prove a thing. This is why I'm doing a recorded video and not a live video. My internet is being finicky today. And of course, with the holidays, there's no technicians to come out and help me until next week. So you'll just have to believe me that if we break 1760, a weekly higher low will be set and we'll be looking back up at 18.4. But as we head into the end of the year and the start of the new year, it's important to establish some game plans. So we want to look back. I'm going to do a New Year's resolution video in a week and talk about things that we want to review with our own trading, lessons from my year of trading 2022, and things like that. And that's definitely something we want to be doing as we head into the new year. But again, I cannot stress enough, having a clear game plan laid out for crypto. Otherwise, we're in a very heightened emotional state in the markets right now. And that always comes with fear much more than euphoria. And so there's the possibility that we roll over into fresh fear lows in the broader market. And we start this coming year with more red after a very red 2022. And again, we have to have the game plan established so we're not just scrambling around and reacting to our emotions that are being triggered by price action. And so the setup for me that I keep saying is I have no interest longing Bitcoin if we are in a downtrend on the weekly time frame. And once that changes, things will notably shift for me. But until that changes, I'm absolutely leaving the door open for the possibility that we see fresh lows here. And so it's possible, maybe you have a game plan. I'm going to buy it at 14,000 and then some more at 12,000. That's perfectly fine. If that's the approach that you want to take, it's not the approach that I'm taking. I already have my long-term no-touch position. If I did not have a long-term no-touch position, this is definitely the kind of fear environment that I would be dollar cost averaging to build a long-term position in very slowly, because again, I'm leaving the door open for the possibility that we have a bearish 2023. I have no idea what it's going to be. It can definitely be either bullish or bearish, so we prepare for both. But again, the last thing you want to be doing is just checking on the price every day with no game plan, because then you are ensuring that you will react to the price and the emotions that it triggers in you rather than reacting to a game plan that you laid out in advance when emotions were not a factor. So we're watching the weekly downtrend. If we look at the crypto stocks, I mean, they're acting like they're going bankrupt. MARA has dropped 79% in 42 trading days. How long did it take Bitcoin to drop 79%? I don't have that answer, but we're going to find out together. So there's the all-time high. Let's see a 79% drop. Looks like we got it at the low, pretty much. So that took an entire year. So MARA has dropped what Bitcoin dropped in a year in essentially 2 months of trading, which is astounding. I don't know the balance sheet. I haven't read it. I don't know what the dilution looks like, but this stock is very sick. And there's tons of space for lower highs on a lot of time frames. And bears have just been feasting on this name. Coin all-time lows yet again today, down at the all-time lows right now. It's not dropping nearly as significantly. In the same 42-day span, we're down 58%. Still extremely impressive for the bears, but it's no 79. But we're seeing lower lows. We're seeing MSTR heading down and hitting fresh lows today. So we still got some lows from a few months ago, 6 months ago, but lowest price in 5 months or so. So it's still very bearish out there. Tesla is in absolute free fall. We know Tesla has some Bitcoin holdings. There's, some ties between Tesla and crypto, not very significant, but this is one of the more brutal sell-offs that you will see on a name that has a market cap this size, that is a former darling and is now in the doghouse big time. It is just an absolute falling knife. And, we were beat up when we were down at 130. And here we are now almost 20% below that level, which is, again, just astounding. So we are in a very bearish market environment, and we know that it might continue for a while. So we have to prepare for that and preserve our capital. And again, as far as shorter term trading goes, at this point, because we have holiday volume and we don't have a lot of liquidity and opportunity, you want to be focusing on the longer term timeframes, in my opinion, just so you're not over trading and racking up fees trying to day trade in an environment that does not favor day trading. So I would definitely be more patient as a trader in this market environment. And honestly, there's more opportunity in stocks right now than crypto. And that's just because, you can look to short. I mean, obviously you can short crypto as well, but the volatility right now that we're seeing, Tesla was an example, but NVDA, semiconductors, the last 3 days, we're down 14%. Not many cryptos are down 14% in the last trading days, or up 14%. So, and then you got the leveraged ETFs, which are moving even more. So there's definitely opportunity. There's more opportunity right now in stocks than there is in crypto, in my opinion. I'm going to be venturing into the futures trading world, as I've mentioned a few times, in 2023. I'm going to be using TDA, and I'll make some videos about that process as I start to get used to things. But that's a perfect example, in my opinion, of what it's a good time to be doing right now. Unless you are, a bear trader is your edge, and right now you're being aggressive and going for it with the weak market. If that's not you, then now is the time to be learning new things. That's why I'm learning futures right now. I have been told to be trading futures from people I trust, like ChartGuy Lori, for the last 3 years. And my answer has been no, not now, because there's been a ton of opportunity. I've been exceeding all my goals, and it was a very favorable market environment for my style of trading. And so now when things shift, this is the perfect time for me to pump the brakes with my trading, trade with smaller capital, learn a different market, the futures market, and then be prepared for when we see conditions shift and for bounce trades and bullish trades to start having some more favorable results, just because that's my edge as a trader. So pretty much in this market environment, I'm practicing being a bear and having a bear lean and shorting lower highs, which has been going well from a day trading perspective, but also, again, learning new markets and studying. I'm going to be studying and observing a lot more when I start futures than I have in a very long time. Ethereum, still tight on the 12-hour, heading towards 1193 support. Failing resistance here, the bulls have to break 1239 for the weekly higher low to be set on Ethereum. And we know ETH BTC is watching for the potential of a lower high in this long, drawn-out equilibrium. Again, can't stress enough how this equilibrium breaks to start 2023 is going to have significant implications for Q1 2023 as far as what we're looking at when we compare Bitcoin to Ethereum. But this is the 3-day time frame, and I'm scouting a lower high to be the result of this bounce. Litecoin bulls stood out the last couple of days over the weekend. Again, they can't keep it up on their own. They can have a nice bull move up, but if Bitcoin's not coming along for the bulls, it's only going to last so long. And the same thing happens in stocks. Today, Meta showed relative strength in the first 30 minutes of trading, but the broader market just kept dropping and dropping and dropping, and the relative strength in Meta rolled over into relative weakness. And then it joined the bears because it was just being dragged down by everything else. That's Litecoin. Litecoin on Sunday and Monday, big bull move, standing out notably. Weekly higher lows set on both pairings. In the last live stream, talked about how the most likely scenario is a Litecoin weekly higher low, but bulls have to be extremely cautious because if we confirm weekly downtrends from here, we're going to go back to being a lead bear. So LTC, BTC, both pairings, they've got their daily uptrend still intact. We have to set a higher low on the daily as a result of the current consolidation, because if we set these weekly lower highs on both these pairings from here, bears are going to take back over. So aggressive bears are scouting Litecoin shorts, but we would need Bitcoin to head back to fresh fear lows, in my opinion, if Litecoin's going to confirm this weekly downtrend. Another name that we looked at from the last live stream, Mana had a big bull move up. It was doing its own thing as an individual name. We were hitting daily EMA 12 resistance, and while we were live streaming, I was talking about this pullback saying scouting a 15-minute lower high, looking for the short. And this is a good example of different exchanges and the issue with liquidity in the crypto market right now. Because if I'm looking for a top fish play on Mana with this setup, then I don't stop out here on Coinbase because we break resistance, but just barely. That's a double top, triple top. We reject again, and then we finally roll over with bears seeing significant follow through from that. It took a while, and then we had another chance there with that top, but ending up down 6-7%. Whereas if you look at Mana USDT, I would stop out. Look at the 15-minute here. That's enough follow through that I definitely stop out on that wick because there's a lack of liquidity there. So you can see Coinbase topping out and hitting this resistance zone, and these wicks, that's a lack of liquidity. And that's some market buys triggering people stopping out that are attempting to top fish. If I'm on Coinbase and I'm shorting that play, I'm in that trade and it works out and I get a win. If I'm on Binance, I get stopped out on those wicks. So it's important to recognize the coins that you are trading, the broker or the exchanges that you're using. Are they liquid or not? If they are illiquid, that means I'm using smaller position sizes and using a greater amount of wiggle room with my stop levels. But in the end, Mana rejecting from daily EMA 12, sticking with the long-term trend and staying weak as long as the daily downtrend remains and as long as daily EMA 12 resistance remains. Same thing from our lead bears, ADA. Daily EMA 12, rejecting initially, potentially a weekly, well, we haven't even started a weekly bounce. So just remaining weak overall, as long as Bitcoin remains weak, as long as the broader market remains weak. Binance still range bound. We tested resistance on Binance. We had a big spike up, but we rejected right off of resistance. 12-hour resistance was 249. We topped out at that level and pulled back very notably. Now we're watching for the potential of a tightening hourly range. I'd be viewing it as our high, higher low. We're scouting a lower high compared to 249. Definitely some relative strength in Binance today, but we're battling with daily EMA 12. And we're not getting over it right now. For a convincing break, we would have to clear 254.60. So again, this is, I keep saying it, but this is the lull in the market where things are boring, where people lose interest, where there is opportunity to have time to study and to learn, and where there will eventually be opportunity to get in before everybody else. And that's I'm going to get in before a ton of people, and I'm not going to be nailing the bottom. Because I'm not attempting to nail the bottom, but I just mean, the next time people on social media start talking about crypto again, it's going to be long after a bottom is found. And so we'll be here for that shift long before it becomes the cool thing to talk about again. So again, this is a big lesson for me this year and this bear market. This is my first real bear market. I've seen fast, hard drops. I've seen crypto bear markets. I've never seen a broader market, bear market, like we've seen this past year. And again, I'm just preparing that it might continue for a couple of years. I am open to anything happening. What happened from the CVID dump to the V-shape all-time highs to where we stand right now is very unusual in the market as a whole. And so I am open to any unusual scenarios playing out. So I appreciate you sticking with me here. Check out the educational videos on the YouTube platform. And don't forget to do good things. Hope you had some great holidays. See you next time.